Good afternoon, traders. It is Friday, May 13th, 2016, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Well, we had, what shall I say, a typical Friday the 13th day today. Uh, the Dow really took a tumble. It opened up a little bit positive, I think, then it went negative. Tried to get positive here and then just totally failed, and ending up closing near its low on the close today. The Dow was down 185 points. We got out of our, I think we only had a couple, yeah, we had two positions, and we got out with negative $700 on those two positions, which actually was an improvement from what we were holding on the close yesterday, which I think was negative around 2,000. But we continued this pattern of buying in to a falling market, and we ended up getting into 8 positions. That's not a huge amount, but those 8 positions, 1 is positive and 7 are negative. And as a result, we're holding nearly $5,000 negative over the weekend and going into Monday. So, obviously, when stocks are selling off this way, I'd like to just keep out of the market, but we trade the system, and so we're holding negative nearly $5,000 and 7 negative positions. So I, you know, I could get really gloomy about this. I mean, this is a bad end to a really bad week. Uh, but you know something? for some reason, I'm feeling a little upbeat about this. I honestly feel like we're getting to the end of it, and call it a gut feeling or something, but I've been doing this a while, and I just had the feeling toward the end of the market day that some buying was coming in to these stocks, and we're and this may be it for a while, for the selling. Consequently, I am calling the Dow up for Monday, and not only am I calling it up, I think we could get a decent bounce out of this. That's my call. I can't really tell you exactly why I feel that way. I just have kind of a good feeling about the action today. That this was kind of the end of all this selling that has been hurting us so badly all week. So I'm kind of optimistic about next week. I'm going to show you just a couple of the stocks. Let me just tell you something. We go through a week like this past week, and we just get hammered over and over and over again in everything. And today, I watched us getting into stuff and then seeing it immediately go red. And there's this tendency, just you see the system get into something, then it goes red. Well, just get out of this. Get out of this. This isn't going anywhere. We're just going to lose money. We're just shoveling our money into into a fire. It's just going, going, going. But I want to show you some examples of a couple stocks today that if I had done that, it would have cost me money. And why I think maybe this thing is going to turn. And I'm going to show you the first one here that's interesting this way. This is Degas, and by the way, this stock has just been driving us crazy lately. I mean, it really has been tough to trade. And one of the things about Degas, it's famous for its gaps. And this morning was no exception. It gaps way up, and of course, we buy the gap. So we buy Degas up here, and within an hour after we got into this thing just collapsed. And down here, we're down over $3,000 in Degas. It looks horrible. And that's where, combined with all this other stuff, you just want to get out of it. Be done with it. Stop the bleeding, But look what happens here. This thing turns around, and it goes up, up, up. Probably, I think, right there, takes out its high, or pretty close to taking out its high. And it closes basically neutral again. So we've gone from being over negative $3,000 down here to being neutral on the official close. But I'll tell you, in the aftermarket, it's positive. And I'm expecting we're going to see some decent profits in Degas come Monday. Now, that's why we need to hang on to stuff and just ignore these emotions and stick with the system. And I'll show you one more like that. And these are totally unrelated stocks, but they're doing something similar. This is SHAK, Shake Shack. We haven't had a trade in this in quite a while. And again, Shake Shack gapped on the open. We buy the gaps, and it goes almost immediately against us. We're down negative $2,000 in Shake Shack. At this point, I'm looking at this. It's blood red. We're way down. Looks like it's going to fill the gap. I want it so bad just to dump this stupid thing, be done with it, and look what happens. It totally reverses. It takes out its high, and it comes up here and closes near its high. We're up about $1,000 in Shake Shack. Well, that's not a big profit, but it's a long ways from being negative 2,000 down here. So I am encouraged by these two stocks that seem to reverse themselves on the day the Dow falls 185 points. And, past experiences, when you start seeing this in a few stocks, it may indicate a turning point in the overall market. We didn't see anything like this yesterday, but I'm looking at it today, and I'm saying, yeah, I think we're close to the point the worm's going to turn here. And I am actually, for that reason, a little bit optimistic and think maybe next week might not be so bad. Anyway, that's my thinking on it. I could be all wet, but I'm not all down for the weekend. I hope you guys have a great weekend. This is Trader Bob signing off. I will be back here on Monday.